Here's a collection of actual crimes committed by really dumb criminals. Just sit back and enjoy the insanity as we present. Stupid crime stories you just won't believe. In 2023, Minnesota police observed a 2007 GMC Sierra crossing the center line while driving. When they pulled over the vehicle, they noticed the smell of alcohol on the male driver. They also saw what appeared to be marijuana in the center console. The man failed a field sobriety test, and upon searching his vehicle, law enforcement found 106 grams of marijuana. While he was being booked, deputies also discovered 125 pills that were stamped as M30, which indicates they were being passed off as oxycodone. However, police have often found that pills stamped as M30 are usually counterfeit drugs containing fentanyl. The obvious question is, why would someone drink and drive while carrying a car of illegal drugs? Well, he'll have plenty of time to ponder that question as the police arrested the 23-year-old for driving under the influence and drug possession. In 2023, police from the Graves County Sheriff's Office in Kentucky were called to a home for a disturbance. The scene looked suspicious enough for deputies to issue a search warrant for the house. As it turned out, the occupants were running quite an operation. Police found over 4,000 ecstasy pills, over 3,000 Xanax pills, and approximately 15 pounds of marijuana. They also found a large amount of cash, plastic bags, a vacuum sealer, rubber bands, and a money counter. Once again, we have to ask an obvious question. If your home is a drug distribution center, why on earth would you create such a disturbance that required law enforcement to respond? Well, that appears to be common in the world of stupid crimes. Police arrested a 36-year-old man from the home. No doubt he wishes they had just kept things a little more peaceful inside the house. He was charged with trafficking a controlled substance first degree, 10 or more dose units. Trafficking a controlled substance third degree, greater than 120 dose units. Trafficking marijuana over 5 pounds, and possession of drug paraphernalia. He was later transported to an out-of-county detention facility. In 2021, a 24-year-old man in Maryland had such a hatred for police that he decided to act on his anger. He actually called the Havre de Grace Police Department, which is a Baltimore suburb, and threatened to murder officers there. Of course, this was also an open invitation for the police to pay him a visit. Once they arrived at his home, they found the man sitting outside in his car. When they tried to approach him, he attempted to run them over. While he failed to hit any of the officers, he managed to ram a few parked cars in the process. He then drove off with police in hot pursuit. But instead of trying to get away, he proceeded to drive straight to the police station. He then pulled up to the front door, but didn't get out. Instead, he did something that clearly defies logic. The man drove his car right through the front door of the police station. Sounds hard to believe? Well, we actually have the video. You can see how he lines his car up with the door before crashing through the lobby. What on earth possessed him to do this is unclear. One can only imagine the injuries that would have resulted if people were in the lobby at the time of impact. Whatever his motive was, the expression on his face in this mugshot seems to say, "Mission accomplished." He was charged with 2 counts of attempted first-degree murder, 2 counts of assault in the first degree, reckless endangerment, and 3 counts of malicious destruction of property with a value greater than $1,000. So apparently his mission was to go to prison. In 2019, a California man went to the Festival of Lights event in downtown Riverside. He approached a caricature artist and requested a portrait. The man patiently waited for the artists to finish the drawing. After it was done, the man grabbed the artist's money bag and ran off. The bag contained around $500 in cash. While the thief took off with the money, he left behind his finished portrait. Police posted the picture on their Facebook page, but also pointed out that the drawing has exaggerated characteristics and features. Thus, it is not an exact likeness of the suspect. Police said that while this is an unusual way to help identify a suspected criminal, they are hoping someone will actually recognize him and contact detectives. The caricature shows a man dressed in a blue shirt with a red baseball cap worn backwards on his head. He is said to be in his early 20s and stands about 5'1". Of course, people had fun with the image on social media. One person even posted, "If his booking photo doesn't look identical to this, I will be disappointed." But most people were very sympathetic for the artists who not only did not get paid for his work, but also lost the money he had previously made. No word on whether or not cops eventually found him. In 2014, British artist Nick Jolie created a limited edition 3D wall sculpture for the 100th anniversary of the outbreak of World War I. The sculpture is less than 2 inches high and depicts tiny soldiers erecting a poppy flower to symbolize remembrance. After carefully crafting each statue, he mounted them in a frame and named the artwork Never Forgotten. The limited edition pieces sell for close to $1,000 each. Portions from each sale are being donated to the Royal British Legion. You've got to be pretty rotten to steal from a charity. But that is essentially what this next thief did. As you're about to see, there was one art lover who wanted a personal copy of the sculpture, but he didn't want to pay for it. The way he went about obtaining it is what makes this a stupid crime. Unlike art thieves you see in movies who carefully plan their heist, this man didn't bother with all those details. He simply walked into the Castle Fine Art Gallery in Birmingham, England like any other visitor. He then approached the Never Forgotten display and removed the framed piece from the wall. Next, he literally tries to stuff the large item into his jacket. This is something you actually have to see in action to appreciate. And we just happen to have the security video. Take a look. Imagine that. He simply walked away with the artwork like he was invisible. However, his bold attempt was foiled as everything was caught on closed-circuit cameras. The thief was stopped before he made it out the door. He wound up handing the stolen piece over to staff members and leaving. Police managed to track down the 41-year-old art thief and arrested him at his home. The recovered sculpture was later sold. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Our weekly videos will feature such topics as stupid crime stories, classic TV, and the real stories behind popular songs from the past and present. There will be even more categories as we continue to grow.